So, usually I would interview or have a conversation with one of my friends. This time, we're not doing that. So, Andra came to me. She says, "Hey, I've got a friend of mine. He does amazing things. I think it would be so good if you have a chat with him." I said, "No, I don't know him. This is running with Riddz, so I don't roll with him. So you're gonna have to do it." So we're gonna have Andra this time. You gotta look at my ugly face no more. We're gonna have Andra pop up. Yeah, come over, please.
I'm coming over.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, you do this properly, man. Get me. Trust me, man. Boom. So, Andra.
Hiya. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Listen, Saabi, do you want to join me over there on the mic? Riddla, are you gonna be part of it as well?
If I got anything to say, same for you guys. If you want to jump in, it's very free. So
yes, please do.
I like
please
it how
do.
Riddla says he does amazing things, but I don't know him. This is
Well, yeah, no, do
he
you know
does
what?
amazing things, but I don't know him.
The
There's
conversation.
a lot of people that do amazing things that I don't know.
Just say it. Just say it.
No, but it's funny the way he said it because the conversation was exactly like that. I was like, "Hey, do you want to interview
You're like, no.
him?" And he was like, "No, because I don't know him." And I'm like, "Okay, but you can do it though." And when he said that, I was like, "Okay,
This is your moment, Andra.
this is my moment."
is
Now,
your
do you know
moment.
what? Listen, let me just start this off by saying thank you. I appreciate a
No
lot.
problem. It's
And
normal.
listen, the fact that ever since you started this, I feel like I've been here almost from the beginning.
Yeah, I think you've only missed one.
Yeah, probably. Like, I'm so grateful, man.
Hey, this
And
is
I
not what this is
appreciate it
about.
so
Hey, Andra,
much.
please, start your interview. Come on,
I just
man.
want to say thank you. Okay, cool. And now,
Appreciate you.
thank you. And now I'm going to introduce Julian. And I just want to start off by saying, Julian is one of the best people that I've met recently. Do you understand? He has such like a pure energy and a pure heart. And what he's doing for the up and coming artists right now is so beautiful and so important as well. I feel like you definitely create a space, a very safe space for them to grow and test out new ideas and just have that like heart-to-heart conversation with the audience, which is something that is so important when you're just like starting out as an artist or just before you get that like moment to blow. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So I'm gonna let you introduce what it is that you're doing, but I just want to describe it as food for the soul. That's how I see it.
I like it. Thank you, Andra. Thank you, Riddla. Yeah.
No problem.
So I've been emceeing and hosting since I was like 15. I started with jumping on stage because I was doing that to avoid punishment in secondary school. So it was either jump on stage for socials night or cut a heap of grass.
How does that even work though? Like, how do you
Well-
become an MC just to avoid a punishment?
Well, I was,
You're Nigerian, innit?
Oh yeah. So,
I knew
How?
it. I knew it. I knew it.
so,
How does that even work?
so the teacher was like, they were looking for
That's exactly how it works.
No, listen, I'm Romanian. I'll just get like
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
up,
Explain,
straight up,
explain,
'cause there's no
explain.
options.
Don't worry. That's there too.
So they were looking. So the way it used to work in secondary school, your class would do a social night. So you pretty much your class is responsible, or what they call your year is responsible for the social night. I went to boarding school, so you're responsible for the entertainment of the evening. So the teacher was like, class clown. You're always talking. You don't keep quiet, so you might as well do it. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this. And then they gave me the option, cut the heap of grass or. So I jumped on stage, and since then I've been hosting events and emceeing, and it's been nice and good to me. It made me travel to nice places. But I've always loved music, and the good thing about music I've always liked is the intimacy, the storytelling, and understanding the artist. So as all of you know, music is a saturated world of talent. Loads of people, even our guy in Wolverhampton is amazing.
Oh my days.
So, but the question is, what makes everybody different, especially in a saturated world? And to me, the answer was very simple: characterization, storytelling, understanding the ups, the downs, and what is happening to these individuals. So I used to go for a lot of music shows. I like the intimate ones, but the thing that used to kill me is you're listening to music and an artist, displaying their voice. To me, the best form of music is live music because I think it gives you originality, your song.
I agree.
You stand there, people see you doing your work. But you go for a lot of these music shows and there's some guy at the back eating crisp and making noise and talking about Tottenham or something, or just, some crowd, yeah, I'm good still, and crap, somebody's trying to sing.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I said, okay, this is what the problem is. The problem is people don't know the artist. There's no personal connection, so you're not listening. when your friends come and say, "Oh, I'm performing, come and watch me." When you go there, you bring your phone out, you're listening, you're paying attention because you know the person. There's a connection. So what was missing is for the unknowns and for everybody else that's in the hustle, people don't know who they are, so they don't listen. But if you get to understand the story, the interpretation of the music, exactly how the artist wants you to, the messaging, and if they can explain all this through their music, people get to know who they are and they follow them on their journey. So Korak was born. Korak means footsteps in Croatian. The reason I picked Croatian is one, I was on holiday there. Two, every other language just sounded funny. So, and it's spelled nicely. It's Korak, K-O-R-A-K. So musicians are giving you the original music and telling you their story through their music. People get to understand who they are. You get to ask questions. And it's a complete live music journey because we have a band. So we get to rehearse with the artists. And it's broken down into the podcast element where we sit down and talk about their entire life, you know, what relationships, people, their bodies they have hidden, if they have, and stuff like that. And you get to understand them. And then the live music event itself, they are performing it. And we're asking them questions, and people get to know exactly who they are. And it is done by the Backliners, which is our resident band.
Amazing band, by the way.
You know,
Absolutely
3 wonderful
amazing.
individuals, Gideon Tari, David, and Sonny.
And they're so young as
Sonny, what's his
No. This is Sonny like you don't know. This guy is only 18 years old.
Okay.
And is,
Yeah.
but he
All of
plays,
them are so young, you
yeah,
know. Like, all
yeah.
of them are like 18,
but he
19,
plays the
20.
bass guitar like he has
Wait,
been playing it
Sonny
since.
what?
Sonny Wait.
Let me just check.
Yeah.
You might know him. You know so many people.
But yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so it is, the aim here is to provide a platform where, because I think music is getting to, I always say it's making live music great again. And it's doing it through stories of individuals that are trying to take each journey. As you know, the music world is cutthroat. It's, you're hustling, you're using your own money, you're getting somewhere, trying to make it, trying to get people to understand. But when I started this, it was initially called something else, but then I had to rebrand it. But when it was called The Old Outfit, we had a lady that came from up north, got her dream job in London. Everything was going wonderful. Quit the dream job after 1 week. Didn't like it, hated it. Life was terrible. Got involved in an abusive relationship. Got involved in drugs, and pretty much became homeless after 2-3 months in London. But what saved her was she met a group of musicians and started writing music, singing, amazing voice. And that literally saved her because she was so ashamed to tell her family. Because imagine you're living wherever you're living and you go, I'm going to London, dream job, money, everything. And then after 3 months, you lose it all. But then she came on the show and she told that story. And each song she wrote at that period, she sang it and explained what she was going through, what happened. And people got to understand it. And then we had one of them moments where, one of them moments where you're looking at the crowd and somebody's crying and you're like, gotcha. And then because you get to understand the story. And after that, another lady approached her and said, I pretty much went through stuff that you've gone through. But I'm not a musician or anything. But what that does for us is you've gone on that journey. You'll never forget the music because it's resonated with you. And it builds this environment where musicians, at least, what we can do for you throughout the series, because it's very podcast. As you know, Andra, I'm very into in your face, like, oh yeah, how are you? As you know, post this, collaborate, and hopefully it provides a platform for them to know that we were there when the train wasn't moving. Because most people, they want to jump on the train when it's moving. I want to start the train with you. I want to follow you on that journey. So that's pretty much what we do with Korak.
That's beautiful. And you know what? I feel like your platform, you've created a platform where people can acquire diehard fans. Because you see, when you spend like a couple of hours with these people, and it's a small crowd, do you understand? It's not like you have 100 people in the room, and like you said, people are just making noise, minding their business, and the single is just like some background music, right? What is the capacity of the venue? Just quickly.
The capacity, probably, we can get about 100, 120 people.
But how many people do? Usually it's like around.
So the most number was the last show we did in February, and we had about 80 something.
80 something. You see, I feel like that is the perfect number if you're trying to create an intimate experience, because obviously you have the live session and you have the live podcast. So you get to have this like heart-to-heart experience and conversation with the artist, because like you said, the public is more than free to ask questions and connect with the talent. And I feel like that is just amazing. And I promise you, like, the venue plays a huge role in it as well, because it's like it's a candlelit place, and they serve like artisan drinks and like nice brandy and stuff. And I don't drink alcohol, but I can tell when something is nice, you understand? And I feel like
it's
that
a
adds to it.
big shout out to Bonfade Brandy House. It's a brandy distillery, and it's the only brandy distillery in the UK. But they do other drinks, good cocktails, strong cocktails too. Strong for those that drink or for those that don't drink. And as you say, very intimate feel, very candlelit, good sound, and the aim is to continue to provide, of course, brand awareness, because what we want to do is, you have artists that jump on open mics, and you do, first of all, Korak, what we do with Korak is, there's no mandates for artists. For example, I don't tell artists you have to bring 10 people or you have to bring 15 people. What we do is, we have a conversation, we do the podcast, which we use as promotion for the show itself, and give you your own link. You go out there, try and get people to come. Like what I tell every artist, it's your show, it's your story. Somebody might come and go, it's such a wonderful show, but I want them to go thinking, they had good music, they discovered a new artist, and everything we do in terms of tickets goes straight back into the next show. Because, people, I have no sponsors. Feel free to sponsor me. But the aim is brand awareness, to push it out there. Of course, we want people to know these musicians. And one of the things that we try not to do as well is, because we only have 3 artists that perform. We have a guest artist, and then we have 2 artists that actually tell their story deeply.
Yeah.
Now, the guest artist will open the show, sing another song at the interlude, and close the show. But the other 2 in between will tell their story and deep dive. And as you know, I don't prepare questions, like, and where can we find, none of that crap.
No, you're one of the greatest.
I just ask whatever. The only thing I tell the artist before the show is there anything you don't want to talk about? Because as far as I'm concerned, anything is fair game. But once you tell me, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to talk about that.
Sure.
No problem. We had an artist once where, when we sat down and did the podcast, oh, my boyfriend is so amazing, such an amazing guy. If I didn't have him in my life, things would just be wrong. 2 days later, they break up. And
I can't lie, that already sounded like a red flag.
2 days later, they break up. So on the show itself, I couldn't talk about the guy because clearly he was still hurting.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I couldn't.
Great content.
But I couldn't. But it's that respect. And when I meet people, we're such it's such an independent feel about the world now. It's a case of do my own thing and go. But like I always tell people, it might start up as business, but we can end up as friends.
I love that.
We don't have to see each other all the time, but I'm not doing this because, yes, I want the brand to grow. 100% yes, I want Stormzy to come on it or whoever, somebody big to tell their story. But the aim is to always grassroots, push, help up-and-coming emerging artists, and hopefully they invite me for the Grammy after party when they win.
God bless.
That's the
I'm
aim.
wondering, what is the selection process like? Do you select them based only on like their sound, or does their story count towards you picking them as well?
So usually what I do is, so the first thing with like every musician, you hear the music, you like it. And this has nothing to do with genre, because luckily for me, I like all genres except metal. That is just 100% noise, as far as I'm concerned. And then, so when I hear it, the first thing I check is, are you performing anywhere? If you're performing, I get tickets, whatever it is, and I come and watch you. I don't tell you, I just, turn up there to see.
Yeah.
And the thing for me is, the major sell is stories. Can you handle a stage? Because one thing you need to understand is, I'm literally trying to market a show for unknowns, right?
Yeah.
Apart from their friends and family that have seen them before.
Sure.
It is a case of, I don't know who this is, why am I coming to watch? So people need to understand, I need to understand that you can tell, because I've been to shows where a musician just turns up, hi guys, yeah, I'm just going to sing 2 songs, I hope you like it, and then they go off, and I'm thinking, this is a waste of time. But when you go and you see people that go tell the story, they're not even asking them questions. So that stage presence, great music, are you happy to tell your story and share it authentically, honestly? And then, It is, and of course Instagram. Check. A lot of people send me stuff like, "Oh, do you know this person? Do you know that person?" And I spend most of my days going from show to show, just to see. And of course, you send them messages, but sometimes no people don't reply and stuff. So, but yeah, I just try and go and fish it out myself.
So you wouldn't have anyone on that you haven't seen live beforehand?
I most likely would have seen you once. Most like, and even if I haven't seen you perform live, when we have a call, because I always insist, let's have a Zoom call or
Sure.
let's meet face to face, because you could meet me and go, "Ooh, who's this guy?" And everybody goes, "Oh, it's the energy, the vibe, all that." So let's meet, we'll talk. I'll tell you what we do, and most of the time, because I plan so far ahead. So my next show is in April. After that is in June. After
April
that is in
the
August.
17th.
Yes, April 17th, Thursday. Let's start the long
Yeah.
holiday. And so April 17th, June 26th, August 28th, I already have it all planned. So when I'm meeting somebody, well, another thing I like to do is come and see the show for yourself. And if you like it, fine. If you don't, no problem.
I love that. If you want to intervene, please do, because I've already said you two need to be friends. So by all means, go ahead.
Sorry, he said something that was really like, oh my God, like, that really makes sense, because I also applied the same mindset in terms of like stage presence. We're not talking about coming there and being the loudest in the room or looking everyone in the eye and trying to create whatever. No, because I'm from Derby, and in Derby every last Friday of the month we've got one next month with Cozy Brand.
Hey, do it. Promote that. Come on, man.
We've got our open mics in Derby, Nixon Coffee every last Friday of the month. The next one is next week, 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. We have artists, comedians, and more. Anyway, sorry. Usually artists perform 2 songs.
Yeah.
And when they perform, I usually tell them that they'll turn it around and be like, "Oh, the first song is this, the first song is that." I'm like, "Don't tell me, tell them, so at least you can talk to them, so they can feel like, oh, you're trying to talk
Build a
to me." Do you
connection
know what I mean?
with the audience.
Because
yeah.
what I've realized was, oh, this first song is this, and they turn around and just stop performing straight, and I
Yeah.
never liked it. I'm like,
No, it's it first of all, I think it doesn't show as much as it might not be the case, but when you're on that stage, you own it, right? That's how I see it. I found my lane on the stage by emceeing. Now, if you're watching me MC, and imagine if I look unsure, or I keep asking questions like, "What's next?" and all that, you somebody in that crowd will source it out. But with music, especially with the music show, these guys are coming to see you. Some people don't know who you are, so you need to actually convince them in the sense that, and some people, I do this for me. You don't, because you are in a public realm of validation when it comes to music. If you want to play and listen to your music for yourself, stay at home. There's no, just stay at home, play it. Oh my God, man, I made this banger. Talk to yourself in the mirror. That's fine.
That Nigerian blonde.
Yeah.
You know.
Look yourself in that mirror. But when you go, and Andra has seen it, when I'm on stage with the artists and I'm talking to them and I'm pushing, I always go, tell them, I know everything I need to know. I've stalked you enough. And I know everything I need to know about
That's
you.
true.
My interest is in you, but these guys need to know more. And the presence, so that's why, because we do a rehearsal. You keep it very professional. Sometimes you have some artists that say, "Oh, I'll turn up on the day." It won't work. I'm sorry. I don't. Unfortunately, this is not Royal Albert Hall. I'm not at that stage yet. But
Even then, they do rehearsals.
Yeah.
so
Especially then.
Especially.
so we do rehearsals. We actually walk through how we do go on the day. You pick the songs that you want to do. The backliners, which is the band, they're very happy to work with musicians. They love it. It's exciting to them, and we make it the best show. And then, of course, I add my spin to it every now and then. So do a bit of jiggle. It makes it all good.
to
Yes.
conclude the stage presence thing, sorry, it's not about me. I just, it just it's disrupting. To conclude, I would like to just tell artists, and obviously a lot of the times you may not have time to rehearse or, get things prepared beforehand. But if you're going to do it on the spot, one advice for me personally, it will be to introduce each track to the people and tell them why you made that track personally. Because I'm interested. I would like to know, why did you make this track?
And that is
'Cause
exactly what he does.
Do you know what I mean? Because when I make beats or when I produce, I've got a reason why I'm making this. Like, honestly, it's not just, I'm just making this to be there, because I won't finish it. I'll just close the project or start a new beat. Whatever I finish a name is something that's got a story. And a lot of the times it comes in with the name. Someone be like, why did you name it that? I'm like, that's what I was feeling, that's what I was thinking, that's what I was seeing or whatever. So yeah, introduce your track, artist, and tell people why you made the track, man. Make it a little bit more intimate, please.
I definitely agree with you, and that is exactly what Saabii is doing during the show. So each track gets introduced, and the artist gets to present the track. They get to tell the story behind it, and you can tell how connected the audience is with them. So then by the time they get to play the song, everyone is locked in. So it's an amazing experience, really, and that's exactly why I said by the time the show is over, that artist is walking out with at least 5 diehard fans, someone that is actually gonna like follow them throughout their career and invest in what they do as artists.
I mean, what I would suggest is everybody here buy a ticket, so at least you can come and rate me, even if it's 6 over 10 or 5 over 10. You can come and rate the show and tell me this is rubbish, but fine. Just buy a ticket, bring a friend or 20, and
or 20. Yeah,
bring a friend or 20.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Part of the show is very much about giving, because a lot of our audiences are creators themselves. So with that being something I'd like to acknowledge, you having spent so much time with artists, having watched them perform, away from the confidence part you mentioned about, talking to the audience, what are 3 things that you've seen that you wish they focused on more?
Intention. So number 1, you have to be intentional about what it is that you want your music to spread. And the best way you can do that is, you might not be the most confident person, but the intention, when I tell every artist, you need to be intentional about the situation, because it is, once you're on that stage, it is about you. Nothing else. It is you. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care whether you go, I don't know if they like it. The point is, you've been given the opportunity to be on that stage, so you be intentional. This is what I'm here to do. This is why I'm here. Why I'm here to do it. Number 2, be professional. Do not always assume that every stage is your next highest point, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. Some people be like, "Nah, man, this is just a small stage. I'm not gonna give my all." No, every time you're on that stage, you have to be 10 over 10.
Yeah.
You have to assume that, you know what, I am in front of, this is my dream at this particular point in time. So intentional, be professional, and number 3, respect. It is, and I think it's a word that's used very loosely. And by respect, I mean respect the crowd as they're listening to you. Respect the fact that somebody's giving you an opportunity. Respect the fact that out of everybody else, you are the one that they chose. And respect the people that actually turn up for you in terms of before the show, the support. Because what happens is a lot of people think they're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know me. I'm going to be me. And if I can't be me, don't leave all that for your testimonial. Just be intentional, be professional, and be respectful. And trust me, that will take you. I think there's a story I remember with Stormzy. Somebody was talking about Stormzy, and what they keep saying is all they remember is he was on time. He did everything he was asked to do, and then he asked for more. Like, sorry, is there anything else I can do? Are you guys happy? And that's all they remember. Like, this is all I remember about this individual, and that has taken him places. But some people turn up like 30 minutes late, smelling of some cheap whiskey, and just DJ, run the track. No, just be all those 3. And I'm not saying it's a recipe for success, but it's definitely not a recipe for failure.
I love that. I love that. You've definitely built a very professional environment, and I feel that everyone that has been on your show so far has left a very good impression on me, and I could definitely see the professionalism, them being intentional, and having that respect not only for like themselves but for the public as well, and for you too. So that being said, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man.
For joining us, it was a pleasure. As you said, April the 17th.
April 17th, Korak Events on Instagram, Korak Events, Eventbrite. You can follow us on...
Tell them how to spell it.
Korak. Okay. Yeah, so, or you can listen to the audio wherever, the Korak podcast. And come for the live show. As I said, bring a friend or 10. And come down, have a good night. It's something you will enjoy.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much,
Beautiful.
Ree.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much
No
again.
problem, man.
Always
Anytime,
grateful
anytime.
and
You know what I'm saying?
thankful.
Yes.
This
I'm gonna hand it
also
over to you now.
Yeah,
Do your
man.
thing, man. Smash it.
so